Welcome to Gray Matter Reports. Today we decode the complex reality of events that unfold around us. A darkened room hums with the low whir of machinery. Shadows stretch across the walls, flickering as the overhead lights pulse like distant stars. In this clinical space, the hum of technology is a constant reminder of the unseen forces at play. The air hangs heavy with the weight of unspoken truths, while the walls seem to absorb secrets, echoing the patterns of human behavior that remain obscured. In this landscape of the mind, an antisocial profile emerges. It is a mosaic of fragmented thoughts and emotions, intricately woven together by threads of experience and biology. Each piece reflects a unique story, yet collectively they reveal a chilling narrative. Here, scientific inquiry meets the dark recesses of the human psyche, illuminating the correlations between genetics and social behavior. Consider the individual whose actions seem inexplicable. Their choices, often erratic, resonate with a primal urge. Evolutionary psychology posits that, beneath the veneer of civility, remnants of ancient instincts linger. These instincts guide behaviors that may seem illogical but serve a deeper instinctual purpose. The labyrinth of the mind is filled with pathways, some well-trodden, others obscured by the fog of time and circumstance. The cold gaze of a subject can reveal much. It becomes a window into the evolutionary dance of survival and adaptation. Patterns emerge, not unlike the intricate designs of a spider's web, delicate yet strong. Each encounter leaves a trace, a biological evidence that speaks volumes about the underlying motivations. The subject's narrative unfolds in layers, revealing the interplay of nature and nurture. In this clinical examination, we dissect the anatomy of thought and action. Our tools are not scalpels or syringes, but rather the lenses of psychology and sociology. We probe deeper, seeking to understand the invisible frameworks that govern behavior. The case conclusion is never as straightforward as it appears. Each element must be pieced together with precision, like a puzzle missing several critical pieces. The shadows deepen, and the tension mounts. We stand at the precipice, ready to explore the contours of the human condition. What drives an individual to the brink? What unseen forces shape their decisions? In this intricate web of cause and effect, the answers lie hidden, waiting to be unveiled. The cinematic landscape of criminal profiles beckons, a haunting exploration of what it means to be human. In the dimly lit room, evidence lay scattered like fragments of a shattered psyche. The air was thick with unspoken truths. Each piece told a story, yet the narrative remained obscured by layers of denial and misinterpretation. The subject's behavior was not merely a collection of impulses. It was a map, etched in the contours of evolutionary psychology. Patterns emerged slowly like shadows creeping across a sunlit landscape. The antisocial profile revealed itself through a series of calculated decisions, mimicking the traits of apex predators. Cold, strategic, and devoid of empathy, the subject navigated the world with a singular focus. The thrill of control became a driving force, eclipsing all moral considerations. Biological evidence played a critical role in this unfolding drama. Neuroimaging studies unveiled a brain wired for manipulation, where empathy circuits lay dormant. The amygdala, typically engaged in emotional regulation, flickered with atypical activity. This neurological backdrop suggested a profound disconnection from the social fabric. It was as if the subject inhabited a realm beyond human empathy, a desolate expanse where interactions were mere transactions. The clinical lens sharpened with each revelation. The subject's history was rife with indicators: childhood trauma, disrupted attachments, and a toxic milieu. These elements coalesced, laying the groundwork for a behavioral repertoire that sought to dominate rather than connect. It was a dance of survival, albeit one that discarded humanity at its core. Yet, within the chilling framework, a kernel of understanding emerged. The subject was not a monster born, but rather a product of evolutionary imperatives gone awry. The interplay between nature and nurture formed a complex tapestry, where every thread contributed to the unfolding narrative. Each act was a grim testament to the underlying psychological mechanisms at play. In the pursuit of a case conclusion, the investigation demanded a deeper interrogation of the self. What did it mean to be human when the very essence of human connection was severed? The shadows of the subject's existence loomed large, challenging the paradigms of morality and accountability. As the pieces of the puzzle began to coalesce, it became evident that the line between predator and prey was not as clear as once thought. The behaviors exhibited were not merely aberrations. They were echoes of a primal past, a reminder that within the depths of every individual lies the potential for both light and shadow. Understanding this duality was essential, for only then could one hope to illuminate the darkest corners of the human experience. The rain fell in a steady rhythm, a backdrop to the somber reality unfolding within the sterile walls of the psychological evaluation room. Each drop mirrored the relentless flow of thoughts swirling in the minds of those who sought to understand the enigmatic forces driving an antisocial profile. There existed a bridge, invisible yet profound, connecting the dark recesses of the mind to overt actions in the world. A lone individual sat across the table, expressionless. Their eyes, pools of indifference, revealed nothing yet hinted at a complexity that defied explanation. This was not a mere collection of behaviors. It was a tapestry woven from threads of experience, biology, and environment. Here in this sterile space, the exploration began. The clinician observed, noting the subtle shifts in posture. Each twitch, each fleeting glance was a fragment of a larger narrative. The mind operated like a vast ocean, with currents unseen by the naked eye. Beneath the surface, evolutionary psychology whispered secrets of adaptation and survival. Antisocial profiles often arise from a confluence of genetic predispositions and formative experiences, creating an intricate dance of nature and nurture. A deep breath filled the air, punctuated by the weight of silence. The clinician leaned forward, a bridge of connection forming through words. "Tell me about your childhood," they prompted. The individual's lips twitched, a flicker of something. Fear, perhaps? Anger? It was a language of its own, a dialect of the unspoken, laden with the gravity of unprocessed emotions. Memories cascaded like fragmented glass, sharp, disorienting. The clinician recognized the patterns, how narratives were constructed and reconstructed within the mind. Each recollection served as a stepping stone across the psychological bridge, leading to the present. Evolution had crafted these defenses, adaptive responses to early trauma, yet they had twisted into something darker. The space felt charged, heavy with unspoken truths. The clinician, like an archaeologist, sifted through layers of denial and rationalization. "How do you feel when you think about those moments?" The inquiry hung in the air, a delicate probe into the depths of vulnerability. The individual's gaze shifted, a crack in the facade, revealing shadows of regret. Understanding emerged not as a light illuminating the darkness, but as a subtle acknowledgement of its existence. The invisible patterns of thought and behavior began to coalesce, forming a bridge between the past and present. The clinician's task was not to judge, but to navigate this landscape, to map the terrain of a mind shaped by forces both seen and unseen. As the session drew to a close, the rain intensified outside, each drop echoing the complexities within. The bridge remained, a reminder that the journey into the depths of the human psyche was fraught with shadows, yet essential in unraveling the intricate tapestry of human behavior. The ocean of the mind is deep, murky, and fraught with the currents of instinct. Beneath the surface, unseen forces shape behavior in ways both profound and unsettling. The study of antisocial profiles often feels like navigating a labyrinth. Each twist and turn reveals echoes of evolutionary psychology, where adaptations have long served as survival mechanisms. Yet, in this modern age, those adaptations can manifest in unsettling ways. One might consider the individual as a vessel filled with the remnants of ancestral traits. Instincts honed over millennia often clash with contemporary societal norms. This dissonance creates a fertile ground for behaviors that remain cloaked in shadows. The clinical gaze seeks to understand how these patterns emerge, revealing a tapestry woven from threads of fear, aggression, and isolation. In our exploration, we encounter the concept of the socio-biological imperative. This imperative drives individuals to forge connections, yet for some, it becomes a twisted reflection of their inner turmoil. They may mimic social structures, but the warmth of genuine interaction eludes them. Instead, they operate within a cold calculus, where relationships are transactional, devoid of empathy. Imagine a chessboard, each piece representing a different aspect of personality. The king, vulnerable yet powerful, symbolizes the ego. The pawns, numerous and expendable, represent the peripheral influences that can either protect or undermine. In this game, the stakes are high. Analyzing the moves of these individuals reveals not just their strategies, but the underlying psychological forces at play. The examination of biological evidence often illuminates the path to understanding. Genetic predispositions may predispose some subjects to certain behaviors, creating a complex interplay between nature and nurture. The brain becomes a battleground, where neural pathways are forged through repeated experiences. Each encounter, whether nurturing or traumatic, leaves an indelible mark, shaping future decisions in ways that remain obscured. Consider the mask worn by these individuals. It is crafted with care, designed to fit seamlessly into societal expectations. Yet beneath lies a tumultuous existence, a chasm filled with unresolved conflicts. The emotional landscape is often barren, a desert where empathy struggles to thrive. This emotional void propels them into a cycle of disconnection, perpetuating their antisocial narrative. In this deep dive, we confront the unsettling truth. The shadows of our evolutionary past linger, shaping individuals who walk among us. Their invisible patterns, often overlooked, reveal a complex interplay of biology and environment. The case conclusions derived from these profiles offer glimpses into the profound depths of the human psyche, urging us to confront the darkness that lies beneath the surface. It is here, in this uncharted territory, that understanding begins to emerge. The world is a mosaic of shadows. Each fragment tells a story, weaving a narrative that transcends borders. In the sprawling tapestry of human behavior, the invisible patterns of antisocial profiles emerge, shaped by the complexities of evolutionary psychology. Across continents, cultural nuances influence the manifestation of these profiles. In urban sprawls where the cacophony of existence becomes a backdrop, individuals exhibit traits that mirror their environments. The hustle of city life can amplify feelings of isolation. This isolation, paradoxically, can foster connections among those who share similar dispositions. The innate drive to belong can lead to the formation of networks, albeit ones tinged with the darker shades of manipulation and coercion. In stark contrast, rural settings present a different canvas. Here, the interplay of tradition and community creates a different set of expectations. The subjects are often bound by familial ties, where deviation from norms can attract scrutiny. Yet beneath the surface, the same evolutionary impulses simmer. The need for dominance, for control, finds expression in subtler forms: gossip, exclusion, and psychological manipulation. These behaviors, while less overt, are no less impactful. The clinical lens reveals a chilling truth. The mechanisms of antisocial profiles operate globally, yet their expressions are uniquely localized. Genetic predispositions intertwine with environmental stimuli, crafting a narrative that is both universal and specific. As we delve deeper, the biological evidence suggests that certain traits, impulsivity, lack of empathy, and risk-taking, are not confined to a single culture. They emerge as recurring themes, echoing through the ages. As the data compiles, the patterns crystallize. The case conclusions drawn from diverse societies illuminate a shared human experience. The underlying impulses are not merely products of environment. They are rooted in our evolutionary journey. The need for survival, for dominance, and for connection remain integral to the human psyche, regardless of geographical boundaries. In the shadows of these antisocial profiles, there lies an unsettling truth. We are all shaped by our surroundings, yet we are equally bound by our biology. The tension between nature and nurture becomes a dance, a delicate balance where one influences the other in a continuous loop. With every profile analyzed, the global perspective broadens. The map of behaviors expands, revealing the interconnectedness of human experience. In this clinical exploration, we find that the shadows we cast may not be our own, but rather reflections of a collective narrative, a testament to the unseen patterns that bind us all. The courtroom sat in oppressive silence, eyes fixed on the judge, the air thick with anticipation. The final verdict loomed like a shadow over the proceedings, a culmination of weeks of testimony and expert analysis. Each mind in the room wrestled with the weight of human behavior, the invisible strings that bind one individual to another. In the dim light, the lead prosecutor delivered a meticulous account of the case. Each detail painted a portrait of the subject's psyche, revealing patterns rooted in evolutionary psychology. The jury listened intently, their faces a mosaic of concern and focus. They were not merely weighing evidence, they were grappling with the essence of humanity itself. The defense, too, presented its narrative. They argued for the influence of biological evidence, the genetic predispositions that shape the individual's choices. Their words echoed through the chamber, weaving a complex tapestry of nature versus nurture. It was a reminder that beneath societal norms lay a primal instinct, often obscured but never entirely erased. As the arguments unfolded, the psychological landscape of the subject emerged. Antisocial profiles are not born in a vacuum. They are sculpted by myriad factors: childhood trauma, social isolation, and the relentless march of genetic inheritance. Each statistic, each study cited, added depth to the subject's narrative, transforming an abstract concept into a tangible reality. The judge's gavel struck the desk, a final punctuation mark in a long saga. The verdict delivered, the tension in the room shifted. Relief intertwined with disbelief, as if the air itself had exhaled. But beneath this veneer of resolution lay an unsettling truth. The patterns of behavior had not vanished with the verdict. They lingered, like shadows cast by an unseen light. The audience filtered out, minds buzzing with questions. What does it mean to label, to define? The individual was more than the sum of their actions, yet the law demanded clarity. The struggle between societal safety and individual understanding danced in the minds of all present. Outside the courtroom, life continued, indifferent to the complexities of the human psyche. Yet each participant carried a fragment of the experience with them, a reminder of how easily one could slip into darkness. The final verdict was a closure of sorts, yet it only opened the door to deeper inquiries. The invisible patterns remained, waiting to be explored, understood, and perhaps one day unraveled. In the shadows of the mind, the echoes of the case would continue to resonate, a testament to the intricate web of human behavior.